What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel. Number for the news. And in Los Angeles, about 3 or 4 months ago, there was a triple murder where 3 people were shot dead and 4 were wounded. And 3 suspects have been arrested. Darius Stanford, Dante Williams, and Dejon Tompkins. And all of these young men drove all the way from Chicago to Los Angeles to commit these murders. One thing I've started to notice about these Chicago boys, they are some of the most heartless and soulless young men on the planet. These young men will kill at the drop of a hat. And you could tell these 3 young men are fatherless boys. Even though they're men, these are fatherless boys because they have a young, childlike mentality where they were raised by street gangs. There's no doubt about it. And I understand, growing up in an impoverished community that sometimes these things can happen. But you would hope as you get a little bit older, when you start to know better, you can start to do a little bit better. But I've said this in videos before, the amount of drug use that these young men are using is unprecedented. A lot of these guys have no soul, and in replacement of their soul is perk 30s, promethazine and codeine, marijuana, alcohol, and no hope at all for the future. Now, they killed 3 young ladies. One of them, I'm alleging, was a lesbian. Now, we know about Chicago. The street gangs is serious. I've noticed that they'll go from city to city. It used to be most people did their dirt in their town. They didn't go from city to city. These Chicago boys, I've seen several different clips with Chicago boys that's doing murders in Los Angeles. They're shooting at people in Atlanta, Texas. They're taking their gang banging from state to state now. And this is unprecedented in today's time. There was an old saying that say, it ain't where you're from, it's where you at. These boys flip the saying, it ain't where you at, it's where you're from. Let's take a look at the clip.
89 Chicago gang members suspected in 4 murders in Southern California are finally captured. The investigation and arrests spanning across multiple states. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia is live at LAPD headquarters in downtown LA with the latest developments. Sid?
The suspects and the victims are all from Chicago. The 3 women were murdered in January. The 1 man was killed right before Christmas in December last year. All 3 suspects are now awaiting extradition back to Los Angeles. The shooting happened on January 28th in the Beverly Crest neighborhood of Los Angeles.
Let me say this, the Beverly Crest area, that's a nice area. Now, I've been to Los Angeles several times, and Beverly Crest area is really nice, not that far from Beverly Hills. And, obviously a lot of these really nice neighborhoods, whether it be Malibu, Beverly Hills, Beverly Crest, Manhattan Beach, it doesn't matter. No matter where it is, all these nice areas are Airbnb now. So you can bring the hood to the nice parts of the city now. It didn't used to be like that, but that's how it is now.
It borders with Beverly Hills. After following leads from the public and ones detectives gathered from witnesses, arrests have been made in connection to the 3 women who were murdered and the man who was shot and killed in North Hollywood last December. The victims and the suspects are all from Chicago. The 3 men in custody are 28-year-old Darius Stanford, 22-year-old Dante Williams, and the 3rd suspect is 28-year-old Dejon Tompkins.
And a lot of times when you see these young men and they get caught for a crime like this is just one of many crimes these young men have committed. And they finally caught up to them. I guarantee you, between these 3 guys, they got plenty of bodies. See, when you from the inner city, you from the hood, one thing about it, most of the people in jail, I would say almost all of them, not all, but I mean almost. The crime they in jail for is not really some of the most major or most heinous acts they even committed. A lot of times career criminals get away with a lot of crimes before they get caught. It's the people who aren't really criminals who get caught immediately. But when you're a real criminal, you can get away with a lot of crime before you get caught for something. I don't know what that's about. But I think when you have that demonic spirit on you, them demons help you slide through a lot of shit to keep you out there on the streets a little bit longer.
Police say all three are known Chicago gang members. Police won't say why the three suspects traveled all the way from Chicago to Los Angeles to commit the murders. Now, working with the FBI, Chicago, and New York City police, one was arrested in Chicago, one in Indiana, and the third in Manhattan.
The collaboration and cooperation between law enforcement agencies across the country is crucial in ensuring that those responsible for such brazen acts of violence are brought to justice no matter where they may attempt to flee.
Stanford and Williams have each been charged with 3 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Tompkins has been charged with 4 counts. Along with this case, he's also linked to the murder of Julian Bynum, who was murdered right before Christmas in North Hollywood. The three.
And, you know, like I said before, like when these people are from Chicago and they're in a whole nother state, and somebody from Chicago guns them down all the way out of state, it leads you to believe that there's more to the story, and especially for the young man who got shot in Hollywood. You never know what he was doing in Chicago, who he shot and killed. For them to want to drive all the way out of state to come get him will let you know how seriously they wanted him and how serious whatever he did, they took it. They didn't come from all the way from Illinois to kill him because he said something mean on Instagram. Believe you me, it's a little bit deeper than that.
29-year-old Nina Davis, 26-year-old Destiny Sims, and 33-year-old Iana Hutton. Police tell us the 3 women rented an Airbnb to follow a Chicago-based rapper.
There's a clue. Following a Chicago-based rapper. And how well did they know that rapper? Was that rapper at that party at that house? I would imagine so. Really nice neighborhood, Chicago-based rapper. Who is the Chicago-based rapper? What has he done? What? Because like I said, a lot of these rappers are living real life movies. They like living real life boys in the hood, real life men to society. This shit is unprecedented. The shit they doing. It's like the King Von era out here. This is the King Von era of rap, where everything we say and rap about, we really did. What happened to the days of studio gangsters? Whoever thought we would miss those days? Unbelievable.
In front of the house they were renting. They were not, according to police, the suspects' intended target.
On behalf of the LAPD, we are saddened by this horrible loss of life and hope the arrest of those responsible for these acts will bring some comfort to the families and friends who lost their loved ones.
The police didn't want to talk about why the 3 suspects drove all the way to LA to allegedly commit the murders. Again, I'll bring our waiting extradition to face justice here in Los Angeles.
Let me say this. They drove all the way from Chicago. And just so happened, they killed 4 people from Chicago. 3 women. Now, we obviously, one of them women who was on the side of, as you can see right here, let me go to the clip.
Police.
She was a lesbian. That has nothing to do, I mean, I don't care about her sexual preference and what she is to, but obviously to me, you know, Negroes know what a lesbian nigga look like. This is a lesbian. But some of them lesbians in Chicago is with the shit. I'm not saying she was, but I'm saying some of them lesbians in Chicago is like dudes, and they out here knocking shit down and catching bodies and doing all the same shit. Now, these all 4 of these people could have been innocent. Could have been all innocent victims of a random crime. But they were all from Chicago in Los Angeles, killed by 3 people from Chicago. Something's rotten in Denmark. But, you know, I just want to go over this clip, you guys, because there be some strange stories out here. And sometimes the story that the police be giving you, it doesn't add up. They telling you 2 + 2 is 19, and I'm not buying it. I just want to go over that clip, you guys. This has been Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. Hit that like, Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass. Something is mighty suspicious about 4 men driving all the way from Illinois. Ride. Peace.